Elijah and for Elise, yeah, because I think Elise,
I saw Elise yesterday at church.
oh yeah, I think she had an appointment in Bakersfield, it sounds like, so.
I was looking for you. I couldn't.
So you guys can say hi to Elise and Elijah if he's watching later. Okay. We are on page 121 in the grammar book.
21.
And,
I'm be here on Monday.
oh, next Monday?
Mhm.
Okay.
The Monday is coming up. Next Monday, the next day's me.
Oh my goodness. You'll have to remind me so we can sing. Okay. On page 121, we're talking about a new thing here. So everybody needs to pick, girls.
Frosting. Oh. What is that? I don't know.
We're talking about the adverb clause today. You guys know about ly adverbs. This is different. Okay. The adverb clause is a group of words, kind of like the because clause or the who, which clause. You guys are all, you already know about all that. So an adverb clause is a special kind of word that starts the beginning of the clause. And there's a way to remember it. Remember, do you guys know about fanboys, by the way?
Yes.
That's been around forever. This is kind of like that.
Or, but, nor, no. No.
Fan.
F-A, or, for.
And,
but,
nor, but, or, yet, so. Okay, you got it. That's fanboys. Those are conjunctions, right? We're going to talk about a new way to memorize adverb clauses, and it's called www.asia. This is weird. Just hang in there with me. Asia.b. Now, this sounds like a website, right? www. something is what you type in when you're going to a website.com. You're right. So this is just a fun way to remember adverb clauses.
That's what I was trying to remember. Then why does it say Asia?
Well, because look at where these bold words are right here. See how it says www.asia.b? So look at the words underneath that and read them with me, okay? Ready, read. When, while, where, as, since, if, although, because. Those are the words that start an adverb clause.
Like because clause.
Like a because clause, and I'm glad you pointed that out.
Because
there you can use the because for both adverb clause and because clause. So each of those words starts with a letter www. So this is when, while, where. Say that part. When, while, where. Okay, and then this is Asia. Do the Asia word. As, since, if, although. Do those one more time. As, since, if, although. And then dot B. Because. Just a fun way to remember the words that start an adverb clause. Now remember, a clause has a verb, a subject verb pair in it. A phrase, like a prepositional phrase, does not have a verb, remember? But clauses do. So I want you to remember that. Look at the two examples right here. Kind of in the middle of your page. It says AC on top of the parentheses right there. That stands for adverb clause. This is how you're going to mark these now in your book. So as the nose grew, it became long and heavy. So you see the parentheses around as the nose grew. That's because as
is Asia.
Is the A in Asia. See how it's as under the first A in Asia? So as the nose grew, and it's the subject verb. The subject is the nose. And what is the nose doing? It grew, right? It became long and heavy.
Grew is the verb.
Good. Grew is the verb. Nose is the subject. The next example right under that. Juliana, can you read that one for me?
The soldier sat because his nose was so long.
It was too long.
Oh,
Notice, oh yeah, the soldier sat. Thank you. Because his nose was too long. It's weird. This story is about how his nose just keeps growing.
That poor guy.
I know.
Like an apple?
Yes, yes.
I guess he's becoming a Pinocchio Jr.
It's like Pinocchio. That makes me think of that story too.
Lies.
So notice because is the first word in the clause. Because the dot B right here, this B stands for because, right? So because his nose was too long, we still have a subject verb right here. Nose is the subject, was is the verb.
And it's a because clause.
It's not a because clause in this, it is an adverb clause. So it's going to be a little bit tricky to see the difference between those two.
Use a comma before
Yes.
Well, wait, one thing.
Yes.
Once we're done with markup, will adverb clauses be on our checklist?
I think so. It's coming, it's coming. I will say that. I think so. Okay. Okay, there's two comma rules that you need to know. The first one says, if the adverb clause comes first, like that first example, you use a comma. So if it's adverb clause, and then remember MC stands for main clause. So that first one that says, as the nose grew, it became long and heavy. The main clause is second. See that?
As the snow grew.
But as the nose grew is the adverb clause is first, so you need a comma. Look at the second example, the adverb clause comes second, comes after the main clause, no comma when you do it that way. It just depends on what order you put it in, okay? And then one more thing at the bottom of the page here, it says, think about it. And you probably noticed that because is also a preposition. It's a prepositional phrase. Can you do what? Yes, well, look at where it says prepositional phrase and read that sentence right there.
The soldier sat because of his long nose.
Notice the word of after because of. Whenever you put of next to it, it becomes, you don't put a comma, but it becomes a prepositional phrase.
I don't see of in a sentence.
Because of, at the bottom there.
Like nines.
Oh, when it's big like that, yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about here.
Oh, sorry. No, we're right here. The soldiers sat because, we're right down here. Because of his long nose. So when you have of next to it, because of, that becomes a prepositional phrase. Now, Rebecca, read the one that says adverb clause, the next one down.
The soldier sat because his nose was too long.
That says because his nose,
Painful.
yeah, his nose was too long.
You
Well,
must smell like, what if it landed in deer?
that was random. Okay, was is the verb there. Remember, was is actually a verb, so that one is a clause. That's an adverb clause because it says, because his nose was too long. Subject is nose and was is the verb. So that's different than because of his long nose. That's a phrase. You guys understand the difference between those two? Okay, good. Let's practice on the next page. So Ainsley, can you read our sentence today?
When they found they were unhappy, when they found their unhappy friend who was lying helplessly under the tree, they groaned.
Good. That was kind of a weird sentence the way it's set up there, but
Wait, lying is in the backwards LY movie.
well, the LY is not at the end in that one, huh?
It's English.
Groaned is
The
the vocabulary. What is groan? Can you give me an example? Maybe it's not too loud, but like it's like first thing in the morning when it's still dark outside and your mom comes in and your mom goes, it's time to
That's what I did this morning.
Oh,
Does she turn on your light sometimes? And then it's like,
She goes
oh.
My
Ah.
mom walked in and she's like, Rebecca, you gotta wake up, you have school. And I was like, nah. So I sat
Yep.
up and she was holding the light down. I'm like, oh.
No, my mom said, then you're not gonna get to go to the bakery today, and I just woke up.
Oh, that'll work. Yeah, that's
Wait,
definitely a reason to get up. The Conan's? Conan's Bakery?
The one over here, like
Love-
there.
I one time walked there from my neighbor's house.
Go ahead and find the article by yourself, guys. Look for the article and label it.
It's the.
Yes. And then Juliana, what are the two nouns?
I just wrote R.
Friend.
Friend is one.
You're supposed to write R-E.
AR, not ARE. Friend is one. What's the other one?
Treat.
Yes. Friend and treat. Ainsley, what about the pronouns?
They,
They
they.
and they.
Oh, I was
They?
thinking of who.
And they.
Wait, where's they? Where's the other day?
Who would be like the subject? Remember how we labeled that the subject? Adjectives, Rebecca.
Adjectives,
Mhm.
unhappy,
Unhappy.
and then,
Whose,
helplessly.
no, whose friends are they?
They.
Or their, right? So we gotta fix that though. Hold on, before you write adjective. How do we spell there when it's possessive?
T-H-E-R-E?
No,
T-H-E-I-R-E.
T-H-E-I-R.
No, T-H-E, no, T-H-I-E-R.
E-I-R.
E-I.
T-H-E-I-R.
Cross it out.
Yeah, draw a line through it. And then write T-H-E-I-R.
And
Excuse me.
Wait, E-I-R?
T-H-E-I-R.
Never like that.
And then above that, you're gonna write A-D-J, which is adjective. I gotta get
Oh,
my
and also
water.
take off your adjective. Helplessly is the L-Y-M. Wow, just wow. Wait, there's another L-Y. Just kidding. You're like, what? No.
found it.
That's better.
L-Y.
Okay,
Under the tree.
what are we looking for?
Yeah,
L-Y?
No,
Okay.
that's helplessly. Preposition
It was
of
my
phrases under
turn.
the tree.
Is it Ainsley's turn?
Yeah.
Stole it. Oh,
All
sorry.
right, what's the L-Y word, Ainsley?
Helplessly.
Helplessly. I'll let you do the next one too. How about, do you want to do the prepositional phrase next? Do you know that one? Or we can skip to the who, which.
Rebecca.
Harder, it's harder to find when you don't save it till the last. She's trying to find it. She's trying to find the prepositional phrase. If it's tricky for you guys, you know you can wait to do that one last.
We already did it.
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
It's not on there. Wait.
It should be.
Under the tree.
Under the tree. Very good. Juliana, what about the who, which clause?
Who?
Where does it end? Like, that's the beginning of the who clause, but remember, we put parentheses around it. So
Okay.
where, remember, we have to put parentheses around it. Where does the,
Grown?
no? To the noun. It goes to the noun.
Rebecca, you have to stop helping.
Who was helplessly under the tree is the who, which clause. Adverb clause, go ahead, Rebecca. What's the whole clause?
When they found their unhappy friend.
Good, when they found their
Wait,
unhappy.
underline?
Nope, parentheses. When they found their unhappy friend
And then do AC above it.
and AC above it for adverb clause. And then we've got subject verb pair. So Ainsley, where are the verbs? We'll start with those.
Found.
Found is a verb.
Unhappy. No.
Unhappy is an adjective.
Grown.
Groaned is a verb, good. And then what were they doing helplessly under the tree?
Lying.
Lying.
Can I do subjects?
Juliana's doing subjects. Who found in that first one?
They.
They found. Good, so that's the subject. Who was lying
Oh,
helplessly?
They again.
They groaned at the end, and then what about in the who clause?
Who?
Who? Good. All right, let me show the camera here.
Can I do the capitals and marks?
Yes, go ahead, Rebecca.
When capitalized and then grown period.
When, capitalize, grown, period, and we already fixed the home and phone.
I need to start writing.
Good job. All right. No, don't rush on that. I want your nice handwriting.
I'm not rushing.
Good. I'm glad you're not rushing. Okay,
No, seriously, I don't have that home.
that's good. I can tell it's better than it used to be. That, see, that's nice. Good job. Just make sure did you use a capital on when?
Yeah. They're twins.
All right.
They're twins. They're twins.
Does anybody want to read their first paragraph about Marco Polo? Okay, go ahead. Ainsley and then Juliana.
Did you see mine?
I did, and I wrote you a note. I don't know if you saw it yet, but I wrote you a note. We're gonna take turns reading the first paragraph about Marco Polo.
Is the yellow easier to read?
Yeah. Yeah, it is easier, for sure.
It's hard.
And then if you want to, you can too, but we'll start with Ainsley.
Marco Polo
Okay.
was born in 1254. He lived in a rich merchant family. Because his father and uncle traded in the Middle East, they gained wealth and fame. Marco Polo's mom sadly died when Marco Polo was very young, which is why he was raised by Italian relatives. Marco Polo's father and uncle left for China when Marco Polo was 6 and came back when he was 15. In China, Marco Polo's father and uncle met the Mongol Emperor.
Nice. Clap for her, very nice. I had a couple of suggestions.
I use that same exact.
Yeah. Couple of suggestions, because I did notice you have Marco Polo and family, and then you have Marco Polo, and then you have father and uncle, and that's correct, because they are family. However, that's too many words here. So really, only you need like father or uncle to match family. And then the only other suggestion I have, because you can fix that for next week, because we're going to move on to the other 2 paragraphs now. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Don't forget.
And then you have Marco Polo too many times. So what pronoun could you use in place of his name? He. So that would help it flow a little bit better rather than saying Marco Polo, Marco Polo, Marco Polo, Marco Polo. So let me make a note here. Just one of these to reflect. Oops. Family. And then let's see, you've got Marco Polo, you have his. And then back to, oh, I see what you did. I think right here. Because his father and uncle traded in the Middle East, they gained wealth and fame. His mom sadly died. I think right there you can put his, because you want to clarify that it's when Marco Polo was very young. And then Marco Polo's father and uncle left for China when let's put his father and uncle left for China when Marco Polo was singing in China.
He was,
Yeah. That'll help a little bit. Okay. Other than that, I mean, those are easy fixes. Good. Juliana's next.
Okay. I think I got a little wrong on this one. Because I put a period.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you that. I'm glad you figured it out by yourself. That's good.
I didn't see. I thought that was just the whole sentence, and I figured out.
I think Elijah is coming. Okay, go ahead and read yours, Juliana.
Marco Polo was born in 1254 in a rich family. His father and uncle traded in the Middle East. His mom died when Marco Polo was very young. Marco Polo, who was raised in Italy by relatives, studied business because Marco Polo wanted to trade like his father. When Marco Polo was 6, his father and uncle suddenly left to China and returned when he was 15. Father and uncle met the Mongolian emperor.
Good. And I noticed that you used Marco Polo a lot too. I think the reason why you guys did was because we had MP a lot in our keyword outline. So
I think I used him and her.
okay,
Her,
just him
he,
and his and stuff like that.
MP, his.
Hi, Elijah.
You left me.
We're in our binder, so go ahead and get your binder and a pencil or pen, whatever you're using. All right, and then you did notice that
Yeah.
that isn't not in the last sentence. You want to make sure.
You broke the rule. You broke the
So
rule.
I think you need to take out another thing. Oh, that's okay. That's not that big of a deal. The big rule not to break is erasing, and I see a little bit of erasing right there, but I won't tell anybody. Right here. I think you use Marco Polo a little too many times, so find a couple of them to use the word he or, let's see.
Oh.
I would say, oh, you know what else you forgot to do is underline your concepts. You only underlined it traded.
Yeah, because it said only one.
No, only one of each. Here, look at your checklist. Each one, only one of each. So you need one ly, one who, which, one strong verb, and one because clause. Does that make sense?
Did I put all of them?
So you got because,
It's cool.
underline that.
This letter is not very good. I have a big one with the phone.
And underline who.
I have a big one with the phone. Okay.
I think right here, this one, you should put he. He wanted to trade like his father.
Wait, do I just,
Yeah, just put a line through it and put,
as well, I can't erase that.
Yeah.
Color.
no, don't scribble, just one line, she knows, no.
Yeah.
One line, he wanted to trade his father, okay, so you got because who, you need an ly. Oh yeah, you did, suddenly,
Oh, yeah.
you got it. So now you gotta make sure,
I think so.
Mrs. C.
wait, hold on. When Marco Polo was 6, his father and uncle suddenly left for China, returned when he was 15. Right here. You should have Marco Polo's father and uncle met the Mongol emperor, and
Mongol.
that way,
What's
Mon-
Mongol? Like Mongolian?
yeah, that way you can highlight Marco Polo and Marco Polo in the last sentence, instead of, so that should be a period after 15. Okay,
I got you.
just put a little X over it and put a period on top of it.
That's the wrong part.
And then put a little caret and put Marco Polo's with an apostrophe S.
I got this joke.
It looks
All
like a
right.
J now.
Wait, 9.
Well, that's okay, you know what it is. And then highlight in green when you have your highlighter.
I knew someone who went to bed at 6.
Go ahead and get out all the stuff that we did from Marco Polo last week.
In the morning.
It should be in the front pocket of your binders.
Mrs. C.
Hold on, get everything out right now for Marco Polo,
Okay, you had this right Hold on.
the whole thing. All the stuff for Marco Polo, get it out.
Everything.
That's wonderful.
I'm gonna see what's on the back of this. Oh, go ahead, Rebecca, what were you gonna say?
You know the Christmas thing that we had last year and I couldn't come because I was sick?
Yeah,
I asked Tommy and Trevor if I could have their cards, and they said yeah. And then Trevor said he has a sitting in style one, and then I get a missed homework because that's the one Tommy. Oh yeah, you couldn't come to the Christmas party. It was so fun. There were lots of cookies and treats and hot chocolate. Wow.
Don't rub it in
we
her
got a
face.
sugar
Yeah.
high.
Sorry.
Yeah, we missed you, but we'll have another party at the end.
Wait, maybe we can have an
Yeah,
Easter
like
party.
you're gonna sit there the whole time doing homework. You gonna do it?
Okay, let's see where we're at.
Had it and then they quit.
Hold on.
Maybe we can have an Easter party. And I get to sit there for homework or for
And you get
class.
no homework.
And then I get
All right.
no homework.
All right.
For like
We
4
left off on the back here, possible topics. Remember in our article about Marco Polo, we started labeling the margins here of possible topics. We're going to keep going on that. We only did the first and second paragraph and we need to keep going. Okay, so I want you to turn to page 100 of the article. So look for page 100 of the article. So turn your page over, Elijah. Okay. On page 100, we're gonna still look for things. What are we underlining? Do you guys remember?
Important or interesting.
Important or interesting, very good. And we have on the back of your keyword outline, we have possible topics. What do we have so far?
Early life travel training.
Okay, early life, good,
And travel to China.
and travel China. We just put those two words.
Travel China. It
And
sounds like they
Put a check by early life because we already did that. You already wrote about his early life.
Ow.
So now we're on travel China and now on page 100.
Cross early life.
Guys, you need to stop talking. I'm gonna read on page 100. You guys focus on underlining what's important or interesting. And then we'll talk about what that paragraph is mostly about. Okay, so get your pen or your pencil ready. Elijah, you don't have one in your hand.
No.
Do you have one with
No.
you? Does anybody have a
Yes,
pencil? You okay this morning, Elijah? I'm sorry. You having a bad day so far? I'm sorry. All right, well, page 100, I'm gonna read that first paragraph and you focus on underlining, okay? All right, here we go. The great Khan was delighted to see the Polo brothers again. He received with joy the letters and gifts they brought. Discovering that young Marco was intelligent and had a talent for languages, the Khan appointed him to high posts in the government, probably as tax collector. He also went on special missions for the Khan, traveling throughout China and to Burma and India. His father and uncle possibly assisted as military advisors during the siege of Saianfu. During this time, Marco and his family gained wealth as well as favor and protection of the Khan. Okay,
I just realized something. Who's the Khan?
so Khan is the emperor, remember?
And
Kublai Khan, go ahead.
It says he also went on special missions for the Khan traveling.
Uh-huh, good. So I do think that this one is gonna be about the travel, more travel,
Oh, and also
Oh.
one more thing.
and about his work there. Did you guys notice, hold on, before you say that, did you notice that they saw that Marco Polo was very intelligent. That means he was very smart, right? And they noticed that about him and they decided to put him in charge of tax collecting. Do you guys know what taxes are?
Yes.
Okay, can somebody explain what taxes are? Go ahead.
Like when you pay for something, the government, wait, yeah. I didn't-
Yes, the government.
You have to pay taxes for the government
Yes,
and something else.
yes, you're close.
House taxes.
There's house
Hunting
taxes,
taxes.
everything.
Car taxes.
Everything
It's
taxes.
Food taxes,
And
It's like $4.
and yard taxes.
everything.
Taxes.
Water taxes. And you probably overhear your parents when it's tax season, like that's happening right now, when they're just like, why is the government wanting more money? Because they already take so much. And then the money that we make while we're working, the government taxes that too. The money that we earn, they tax that too.
Wait, so you have to give the money that
Income
you
tax,
earn?
it's called.
So you have to give the money that
Like
you
a
earn?
monopoly.
Yes, you have to give the money to the government that you earn.
Like
I
on
wish I was
Monopoly,
the
there's
government.
income tax.
Income
yeah, you
tax,
get like a million.
like on Monopoly. It's not fair, I will say that, but that is the way it is.
That's life.
But so what I'm trying to say is, man, I would not want to be a tax collector because I don't think they're very popular people
In the Bible.
or very liked
Like,
people.
Have you read Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John?
Uh-huh,
Matthew, it's like he was a tax collector and then
Yes.
he became a Christian and followed God.
yes, yes, it was pretty,
Also, our friends live in India.
oh, okay.
Oh, that's
Being a
cool.
tax collector like Matthew in the Bible, nobody liked him because the same thing, he was just collecting extra money, even though he was just the person with the job, right? It wasn't his fault. But he was the one that had to go to all the homes and say, you guys owe this amount of money to the government, to Caesar.
Wait,
Yeah.
so
And
So
then
every single thing that you buy, you have to pay taxes.
Every single thing you buy, you have to pay taxes, and even the money you make, you have to pay
That is
taxes on.
so
for that
nice.
So wrong, huh?
So the
What?
government
You have
must
to
be
pay
a
taxes for
billion.
the map
Yep,
and the flag
yep,
and the whiteboard.
yep,
And the marker.
and the marker, and the eraser, and the binder, and the
Paper.
books, and this was given to me, so I didn't have to pay taxes on this.
Wait, I forgot to take one home to my
But-
mom. Can I take
Oh,
one home
yeah.
to my mom?
You can put it
What's
in there.
that?
So
It's
I have a
Girl Scout
student
cookies.
in my class later in the
Named Karina.
afternoon,
My
yep.
mom liked these
She
ones.
sells Girl Scout cookies, so if you guys want to order some Girl Scout cookies, we have a student and one of my students that sells them. Yes.
My mom likes these ones.
You're good,
My
okay.
favorite are these ones.
Okay, back to this. This chapter, I mean, this paragraph was mostly about his work in China, so on your list. Work China, and I also want you to write it in the column here on the side. So right here, I want you to put work China, like this. Work China.
I added a C to work.
And put it on your list of possible topics.
Done.
Okay, did you write it on the margin too, next to that paragraph?
Holy God.
Work. It's hard not to underline everything, that's all right. Work China, you underlined a lot too, work China. I'm gonna keep going, on to the next one, let me see, back here. Go ahead and put work China on that list too, okay?
And then
See how I have these here, you might need to copy it, the rest of that too. The polos, I'm back on the next paragraph. The polos remained in service to the Khan for 17 years. When they decided to leave, he asked them to escort a Mongol princess to Persia, where she would marry. Okay, I'm gonna pause there for a second because,
I'm guessing she'll marry like Marco Polo. Like
no,
and
because,
Mulan.
oh, Marco Polo is from Italy, right? But they're
Is
taking
he
her
still
to
alive?
Persia, which is a totally
is
different.
it still
No, he was born in the 1200s, so it's like 800 years ago.
Oh, so
almost.
he's way
So-
dead.
Right, so Persia. Where is
Or
Persia?
was he alive in the times
Would
that
you like
people
help
lived
looking
to
for
In-
1000s?
Hold on.
2000s?
Would you like help looking for it?
No, it's in this area here,
I wish I
Persia,
could teach grammar.
and then Italy is way over
Yes.
here. So Persia is in a
Maybe
different
that's-
part of the continent. In this area, but
Wow. that's far.
yeah, so he basically went around Africa, went through some of these waterways through here. And then he also traveled across the land,
Or
so
they
we'll
could
talk
have
about that in
gone,
a
like,
second.
Right over.
Right over?
Like this. Like here.
Uh-huh, yep. I heard that on here, I don't remember exactly where it's at.
This morning I woke up and then my mom said, you can only have 10 minutes of television before you have to get to school. Right this.
Okay, wait, back to this, hold on. So back in these years, 800 years ago, parents arranged marriages for their children.
What does that mean?
So that means they
Get
picked who your
to-
husband was gonna be. You didn't have any choice in that.
Oh, yeah.
They would just pick somebody for
Like,
you.
Alice
That's
in
bad.
Wonderland.
Alice in Wonderland?
Have you seen that?
I have,
I've seen the cartoon.
but I don't think she got
No.
married in that movie though, did she?
She saw the bunny and then she went.
No, that's a
That
little
was
different,
different.
yeah. But anyway, so this princess is gonna marry somebody in Persia that her parents picked for her, basically. I'm gonna keep going. They departed with 14 ships, the princess, and many hundreds of servants and sailors. Sailing south, they rounded Malay and the southern tip of India to finally land on Hormuz in Persia.
You mean Malay, not Malay.
Malay, yeah, I said that wrong, thank you.
Journey.
India,
I just don't drink.
India is here. And then, so they were around actually, sorry, it's right here. They went around the southern tip of this, which is right here. So that's where around on the sea in these ships, right? They had 14 ships, did it say? Yeah, 14 ships. Okay, that's a lot of ships. And they were all
Wait.
following each other.
Is finally a ly word or an imposter?
Finally is an ly word,
Not an imposter.
not an imposter. The
And
journey
also-
took 2 years and most of the passengers and crew died from disease or drowning or pirate attacks. So this was during pirate times too.
Awesome.
After delivering the princess, they continued by land to the Black Sea, from where they were able to sail home, reaching Venice, that's Italy, in 1295. They had been gone for 24 years and traveled almost 15,000 miles.
Wow.
So that paragraph is all about travel home. And they made some stops along the way. But in the margin, next to that paragraph, I want you to write travel home. And on your list of possible topics. So we're checking to see what each one of these paragraphs are about. So there you go. Underneath that, travel home.
Can I teach grammar next week? Yes,
Remind me.
that's fine.
Yes, you can. And then we have some more paragraphs. After that, there's one more page. This is page 101.
I'm not.
You go. Page 101. I'm gonna keep going.
Hold on, I forgot to see someone else. I thought we had 2 papers full.
I know, it's a long article.
Tell me about it.
Tell me about it.
Tell me about it.
So much
Okay.
drama.
Wait, are we gonna see the?
Oh,
I gotta stop printing those or just put holes in both of them.
I hope
Oh,
the
yeah,
other-
that's fine.
I hope the
I'll
next
take
one
that.
is short.
in addition, I'm gonna keep going. You guys underline. To various valuable trade items, the Polos brought back to Italy many interesting spices, including peppercorns, cinnamon, and ginger,
I have
which
cinnamon.
quickly gained in popularity. 3 years after his return to Venice, Marco Polo was fighting in a war against the rival city of Genoa. He was captured and sent to a prison in Genoa. Poor guy. So he was on this long trip, finally made it back home, and then he went to war, and then he got thrown in jail. And then he was stuck in jail.
Wait, why, what, wait, I don't get it, like, if you have a war, like, people die and.
Yeah.
But-
So he got caught by the other side, which was the other army, right? They captured him and then they put him in jail.
He was
They
just
do
back
that.
home, and then they captured him and put him in jail.
Yeah.
It's like, get up.
Yeah, in jail. And they do that so that they can work out a deal on the other side so that they can release the prisoners. See, that happens a lot during wartime. They get captured and then they go, I'll release this guy if you release that guy, and they make deals like that. So when they're in
But
jail,
what if, like, the other guy dishes the other guy and shoots him?
that's not good. And sometimes that does happen. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. There, with the help from a well-known author named Rustichello, he wrote a book of his travels. So while he was in jail, he made good use of his time and he wrote a book because there was this other author there that helped him.
So now he's happy.
Yeah. So he described Kublai Khan, that's the emperor, and his palaces, paper money, coal, a postal service, and eyeglasses, none of which has been seen in Europe yet. Bless you. After a year in prison, the war was over, and he was free to return to Venice. Eventually, he married, had 3 daughters, and continued as a successful merchant until his death in 1324 at age 70.
Whoa.
So he was an old guy.
My great grandma lived to 101.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
lived to like 63.
Oh,
My
yeah, that's not very long.
Wait,
My
no,
grandpa.
my
lived
great
to
grandma
60
lived till 99.
My great
Wow, she was almost there, huh?
My grandpa.
grandma's still alive.
That's
And my great
good.
grandpa.
I have a great
That's
grandma.
cool.
Grandpa.
My
Anyway, okay,
Johnny's
back to this.
great-grandma's still alive.
So he wrote about the things that he learned in his travel in China, and he took it back to, remember, Europe is a different continent. So when he came back, here's Europe, and China is way over here, right? So the things that he discovered while he was in China, when he came back to Europe, he shared about that and everybody was like, what? What are eyeglasses? They didn't know what those were. And they didn't know what cinnamon was or ginger or all the stuff that he brought back. They were like, this is new, this is different. Because remember, this is like 800 years ago. So a long time ago, before we had like Amazon and Walmart and all that stuff. So they were discovering these things. All right, so this one was really about his life after his travels, right? So let's put life after his travels, because here he's traveling to China, he worked in China, he traveled home, and then life after all that. Okay, and put that in the column of your, put it over here too, next to your paragraph. So 2 spots.
Done.
Done.
I hope your day goes better. Just want to give you a hug. Okay. There's one more paragraph. Finally, we're at the end. And I'm gonna read it.
We have to decide on that.
And yes, but we only have 2 more paragraphs to write, so we only have to pick 2 things. So anyway,
Look.
I'm gonna keep going.
Thanks.
No, sit down. The book entitled Description of the World or the Travels of Marco Polo sold well and widely. However, many people didn't believe his stories, and the book got the nickname The Million Lies. That's not nice. At that time, books had to be hand copied, so it is possible that his stories were changed over the years.
That wasn't nice.
Nevertheless, people were amazed at the things he wrote. 2 centuries later, how many years is that? 2 centuries?
200.
200. The book inspired Christopher Columbus. We know that guy, right? To think he could reach India by sailing west from Europe. On his deathbed, Polo was asked to admit that parts of his book were just made up. He answered that he had told barely half of what he actually saw. So even though they told him it was all lies, he's like, I didn't even tell you half of what I saw. So meaning they're all true, but they didn't believe it because it was new to them. You might want to underline a few things from that paragraph there. So this paragraph was all about his book. So let's label that one book. That's the last paragraph. We're going to label that one book. Okay.
One more thing.
Yes.
Since we did those 2, we can do these 2 and choose from that, and then those 2 and choose from that. Done.
We could do that for sure.
Or you could just choose.
Let's
There
look
we go.
at,
1, 2 of those. I like this.
we already did this one. This was Roman numeral 1, his early life. So we already did that. We're going to focus on Roman numeral 2
We did all of it.
and Roman numeral 3
That's like,
for this week. So we already did early life. So now we can pick 2 for the next 2. What do you guys think we should pick for the
Work
next
China.
paragraph?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
like work in China.
His
Yeah,
work
we
in
need to
China?
know what he did in China.
Okay, is that what?
Yeah.
Life after work.
And then the third one is life
Life
after.
after.
We
I don't
might be able to combine these 2 together.
Life after book.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
life after his travel and his book
Yeah.
too, like at the very end.
And then
Okay.
Work in China is probably more important than the travel home.
Then the travel home, exactly. So I
And
wonder
we need
if
to
we
know what he did
probably
in
need to mention a little bit about his travel to China. And
And
then
travel.
so maybe
Work
we
in
could
China.
combine a little bit of both of those for one. You guys like that idea?
Travel home is just
Okay.
out of the deal.
Yeah, I don't think we need
It's
to
like-
talk about that. That was when he brought the princess back with him and everything, which was kind of interesting, but
No.
I think I like that. Okay, so let's talk about MP here. This is Roman numeral 2. So you got it. Marco Polo and his travel and work in China. Okay, so what paragraphs are those? His travel to China was, The second paragraph, right, on page 99?
Right here. The uncle across the fifth, let's, I can get it
Right here.
Okay, they went to Israel first.
No, flip it.
Let's see.
No, flip it back.
How did they get to China, by the way? Did they, go ahead, how did they get there? By boat, but then part of it was by land though, too, yeah. So,
And shipping.
so let's see, they set off in 1271 and sailed to Israel. So maybe we should put that date first. Do you see that right there? I'm looking at paragraph 2 on page 99. See the date 1271 and it
Yeah.
says he sailed to Israel.
Yeah.
So 1271.
My mom been to Australia.
They carry legs and
Our friends live in India, which is kind of cool.
They,
And all
he
their vehicles
sailed.
and all their
Okay,
businesses
let's
and
focus on
businesses
this.
and other stuff.
Israel. And then from there, he went,
Wait, that's in Strongburg.
What?
sailed, yeah, that would work.
Sail.
That is?
Sail.
And Israel is actually in India. I mean, near India. Hold on, let me double check this. No, it's not. It's way over here in Saudi Arabia. So he went from Israel and then he went by land to China instead of sailing around India. So Israel is way over here. I was wrong. It's way over here. India's here. So instead of sailing around here to India, he went across the land all the way this way. Yeah. So here's
I'd
Israel. He
rather
went
sail.
all the way to the
No,
land,
I'd rather
Couldn't across
go
land.
the ocean.
which means he went across all the deserts and everything.
I would have crossed the ocean for a shortcut.
Okay, yeah. And then so for the next one, let's put that he went by land.
Went,
Let's see.
we could do an arrow, went and then land. That means went by and then just drop and land.
Wait, I got an idea. So how about we go went, then
Arrow.
right.
Except for went is a band word, isn't it? Go
Yeah.
went.
Oh, yeah.
Journey.
Traveled,
How about
journeyed,
traveled?
either one of those. Go ahead and put what you want.
Do
I'm doing
journeyed.
traveled.
Journeyed.
I got one.
Oh,
I got
yeah.
one. Journey.
Did I spell that right?
I
think you did.
we should do journey. Then
doesn't
we
look
could
right.
write by. Then we should write a person walking, and then write shipped.
Yeah, journeyed is right. That looked weird. Okay.
It says I. It says I in it. Like the eyeball. It says I.
Oh, yeah. Like the eyeball. Journeyed across land to, and then we'll put a big C and you know that's China, right? So they journeyed across, so they sailed to Israel and then they journeyed across land. Oh, and we need to put here plus F
would put a
plus
period.
U because it's his father and uncle that went with him. So Marco Polo plus F plus U in 1271 sailed across Israel to Israel. And then they journeyed across the land to China. Okay, now we're in China.
Period at the end of the C.
Oh, just because it's abbreviated. You don't have to put that there. That was their travel to China. And then we need to focus on the work in China. So what is something you underlined in that paragraph about the work that they did in China? What is something you underlined there? Go ahead, Rebecca.
The great
Han, Khan,
and then delighted and Polo brothers.
delighted, oh, to see them? Okay.
Wait.
Great
Um,
Khan could be one word.
Great, great con, and then delighted, like smile.
Yeah.
Delighted to, great con can be one word, and then delighted is one word, and then we could put a P for polo, and then write brothers. Would that work?
Delighted. Maybe we need eyeballs to see. Khan. No, the great Khan was delighted to see Polo, MP.
C's a bad word.
Band word.
Look at his eyes.
Oh, the Polo brothers. Who were the Polo? Oh, you're right, but we'll just draw eyes, but you can use something else other than C. But who were the Polo brothers? The father and the uncle are brothers.
They are?
Yeah,
Oh,
because your dad and your uncle are brothers if they're in the same family, right?
No.
There you go.
I have a great
Yeah.
uncle,
Oh, you do? That's
my
cool.
dad's uncle. He's really funny.
But to see, let's just say to see the Polo family. So the great Khan was delighted to see the Polo. Let's put fam. There we go. Great
Family.
Khan was delighted to see the Polo fam. And then what? What about the work? What kind of work did they do while they were in China?
what did I do?
Say it again.
It's forwards.
It's forwards.
Yeah, there's 4 words.
He looks angry.
Oh.
Who cares?
Great Khan, we're counting as one because it's a proper noun.
You
Does that
still
make
have
sense?
4.
Yeah, you saw 4.
That's one,
One,
two,
two,
3,
three.
and fam is abbreviated
Oh.
for family, so we can count that for
Jinx.
3.
10.
What is the work that he did though? Remember what we were talking about earlier? Oh, wait, guys, sit down. No, Juliana,
Nope, you didn't.
stop. Thank you, Ainsley.
Traveled.
They traveled, but what kind of work do they do? Remember we talked about taxes? And he was
You're
what?
taxer.
He was a tax
Tax person.
collector. Tax collector. That means he collected everybody else's tax.
Sign and then collector.
But why did they hire him as the tax collector? You remember? Look at that paragraph on page 100. They discovered that young Marco was what?
Smart.
Smart, good, or intelligent. Either one of those words. You can put whatever you want to put there. Oh wait, hold on before you write that. It was Khan that said he discovered Marco Polo. You can put smart or intelligent. And he assigned him as a money or tax
I'm
collector.
gonna do intelligent because that's what it says.
Yeah, you can do that. And instead of tax, I'm using a $sign. You guys can remember that that's tax,
Yeah.
right? You can put a little note on the side here that $sign equals tax,
I
if
know
that
that.
helps you. Or at the bottom of your page. So it was the great Khan that discovered Marco Polo was smart and made him the tax collector. He made him the tax collector for China. I'm gonna turn off the heater.
Aw, it feels good.
It does.
It does.
Raise your hand if you're too hot.
It feels good, I know, but I'm hot.
So raise your hand.
Short sleep.
Okay. Then what? What did his dad and uncle do while they were in China? What work did they do? Look at that paragraph. Good, look for it.
His family gained wealth and
Well,
Yeah,
They
that's
traveled
at the
to
end.
China, Burma.
Where it says his father and uncle possibly, what did they do?
Assisted
it
as
has military.
advisors.
assisted as military.
And do you know what military is?
Yes,
Yeah,
my dad's in the military.
There you go.
that's-
Was your dad in the army
My
or
dad retired. He's in the Air Force.
Air
He used to
Force?
fly airplanes.
That's so
and-
cool.
And when he retired, he flew the F something.
Oh, one of the fighter jets.
Yeah, and
Whoa.
then he did a flyby, and we were in this big tower, and there's like 100 steps we had to climb.
What?
Oh, you got to be in the tower? That's so
And we got to
cool.
climb it, and we got to ride in this kind of van.
What?
To sit in it, and it was so fun. It was like a little ride. Then we got to sit in this little van again to ride back. We got to see Dad, and then we got to take a picture and stand by the airplane, and we got
Oh
to
my
see how it's
gosh.
inside and what it looks like inside, and maybe sit in it.
Oh my
And-
gosh,
Oh,
that's so
Olivia-
cool. That
Olivia
is
wants
so
to be Air
cool.
Force. I think she now wants to be a firefighter.
Oh, yeah,
I used
okay.
to want to be a firefighter.
That is so cool. Your dad is pretty awesome.
Yeah, but he retired.
That's good. That's fine.
Because we had to be in Ohio, Alabama.
Yeah, you
we
probably had to
go
move a lot.
Monterey, then we had to move here. So my dad retired, so I didn't have to move anymore.
That's cool.
So the Great Khan made his dad and uncle military advisors, right? So if we put GK, do you guys know that that's going to be, I'll circle the GK up here. That's going to be for Great Khan. And let's see, what could we say about that? He assigned the father plus uncle to be military advisors. Here, I'm gonna write this down. This is a hard one. So advisors gives advice, right, on military stuff. So military advisors are the ones that are like in charge of the people in the military. So Great Khan assigned father and uncle to be military advisors. Does that make sense? And then I like how you said at the end.
H and signed.
Assigned, no. That one doesn't have an H in it.
Oh,
The last one though is, I liked how you said, Juliana, that they gained wealth as well as favor and protection of the Khan. So this is where they gained wealth.
Do we put gain wealth?
Gained wealth,
There's a lot of strong verbs.
yeah.
A lot.
Do you know what the word favor means?
Like ask you a
Yes.
favor?
Ask you a favor,
Like,
but if you
you're
have
asking
favor,
someone to do something for you.
okay, if you're asking a favor, yes, but if you have favor, that means you're, it's like you're lucky. It's like you are blessed. You have
The cat opens the
money,
door.
you have, you know, everything you need, you have favor in your life, things are going well for you, you don't have any issues, things like that.
Favorite your life, like you
Like you
like-
have favor.
love, like your life is your favorite thing.
So you can put gained wealth and favor
Wait, but and? Oh,
now because we can only do 3.
I wrote favor. No,
done.
year.
Baby y'all.
Okay.
On Saturday, we're going to Arizona.
Oh, good. That's cool.
So our family does hunting except my mom. But she thinks it's too sad, but she knows how to do it. So I have a field day in Arizona, and we're going to stay at my grandma and grandpa's.
Oh,
So
Grandpa lives in Arizona.
yeah, yours do too, huh?
Phoenix, not Phoenix, just Arizona. Flagstaff, Arizona.
Okay, let me stop you there for a second. Your homework is to write the second paragraph, okay? And then, you're gonna use this, you're gonna use your keyword outline to write paragraph 2. Don't forget your checklist.
So.
You still have 1, 2, 3, 4 dress ups and topic clincher to use in your second paragraph, okay?
So we have second paragraph to write, or third paragraph to finish, write down, and then write the whole story.
You're gonna add this second paragraph to the one you already started. Does that make sense? So right underneath that, this is paragraph 2.
Get another paper.
Don't get another paper.
Mom
Said we're gonna finish this.
This, I'm deciding we're not gonna do paragraph 3, which is the good
Okay,
news. You're
so
just gonna write a
We're
second
only gonna
paragraph.
Do this, and then
Yes.
next week we'll do this.
And then next week, we're gonna go on to the next week. So I'm not gonna have you do this one,
Can you write me?
okay? Because we need to move on from
Can you
this,
write,
so.
and then we'll just write that on the computer, cause I always forget things, cause I have second drum,
Yeah.
piano, gymnastics.
Well, you
and
know, when you
piano,
get your
piano.
workout, Ainsley, when you see this is ready to go, you can tell this is what you're gonna work on. This is your next paragraph right here.
Looks like
Okay.
to the
Let me go ahead and stop that. So
Right,
just
it's on,
paragraph
like,
2 is
right
all your
now.
work.